I grew up with Harvest Moon and I am no stranger to Stardew Valley. It's one of my favorite games. I have sunk countless hours staring at the Stardew Wiki and working on my silly little farm, always ultimately abandoning it by year 2 because there's just so much to do in this game. So I am a little bit behind on this 100-day challenge, but I figure since I've never reached completion in the game myself, and with the introduction to patch 1.6, it was a great time to start. I had no idea what was in store for me to make this kind of video, and I've been working on it tirelessly for a few months now since the 1.6 release. I have read most of the patch notes, and there's a lot of new stuff introduced in 1.6 to keep track of, but I'd like to see as much of it as possible. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce a few goals and milestones I've set for myself over the course of this video. Number 1, I want to complete the community center within the first 100 days. I've actually accomplished this multiple times already, even with the remixed bundles, so I don't seem that big of a deal, but 1.6 has brought new remixed bundles, which I hope will shake up the difficulty a little bit. Number 2, I want to max out all of my skills and unlock the new mastery door found in Cindersap Forest. This new area was introduced with patch 1.6, and I've been carefully avoiding spoilers so I can see it for myself. I'm really interested to see what's behind that door. Number 3, I want to get the deluxe scarecrow, which means we'll first have to find the 8 rare crows to receive the deluxe scarecrow crafting recipe. My 4th goal is to have every basic farm animal, including the horse. For goal number 5, I want to catch every fish to get the Master Angler achievement. This is one of many Steam achievements that I haven't unlocked yet. I would like to reach floor 100 in the Skull Caverns. The final goal is inspired by Wickedy's 100-day challenge. She really inspired me to try this challenge, and I'd love to find all 7 star drops in the first 100 days. I've never found more than 3 by the way, so we'll see how it goes. I hope you liked the video, and be sure to hit the subscribe button to get notified for any new videos I upload here on YouTube. Alright, let's head over to the character creation screen. As I was working on my character, I made a few tweaks that would impact this playthrough. In the settings tab, I turned on remix bundles, so hopefully we'll get some of those new 1.6 remix bundles for the community center. I also turned on guaranteed year 1 completion just in case that pesky red cabbage bundle shows up. I didn't turn on remix mine rewards or spawn monsters on farm because to me it's just annoying. I really don't like playing with those on. One of the first things I noticed was the option to select different pets. There's a new white cat, a new black cat, and 2 new dogs. In this update, I went with my usual cow pie farm name, and I of course selected the new Meadowlands farm layout, which starts the player off with a chicken coop and 2 baby chicks. This map also has a new bluegrass that will grow and spread over the farm. But with those settings, we're ready to start. So day 1 is finally here, and I start by opening the box that Mayor Lewis leaves with parsnips. Oh, it's hay. My baby chicks were named Viola and Piccolo, which I think is pretty cute. After I check on my 2 baby chicks, I tended the fields and realized I didn't receive the typical 15 parsnips from Mayor Lewis, so I head over to Pierre's and purchase a few parsnip seeds and potato seeds to get started. I love how Haley just chooses to ignore me here, lol, but it still counts as me talking to her, so whatever, it's fine. My energy has gotten pretty low, so I do some foraging in Cindersap Forest, and then I go back to the farm. My day isn't done yet though, so when my energy dips to a low again, I go back out into the town and introduce myself to more of the villagers. It's day 2, and we sadly didn't level any of our skills to level 1 overnight, which makes me a little sad, but today's a new day with a lot of possibilities. I gather as many forageables as I can today, and I stop at Willie's boathouse to nab the bamboo pole. I spend the rest of the day at the pier fishing, and I failed to catch a few treasure chests, which really sucked honestly. I always underestimate how difficult fishing level 1 can be. I also fished up a few new items introduced in 1.6, the sea jelly and the river jelly. It's pretty late though already, so I decide to save them for later, and I spend the rest of the day clearing the farm. At the end of day 2, we reach fishing and foraging level 1. And on day 3, Clint hands over the furnace blueprint before I get started with morning chores. Viola and Piccolo have matured into adult chickens, so I collect their eggs and place them into the shipping bin. Now that that quest is done, I am instructed to build a silo next. I spend the rest of the day fishing, and I get my fishing skill up to level 2 and then to level 3, all in one day. On day 4, I did my morning chores and I went to the beach to work on fishing with the sea jelly I caught yesterday, and then I spent the rest of the day cutting down trees to try and get my foraging skill up before the salmonberry season. I get my fishing skill to level 4 and I start day 5. Marnie brought us a cat, which I named Bibi after my very own black cat. I harvested my first parsnips, and then I headed over to the community center to chat with Mayor Lewis. Unfortunately, the traveling cart didn't have anything special. I spent the rest of my day planting new seeds, fishing, and talking to everyone in the saloon. I visit Marlon in the mines, and he gives me the rusty sword. I'm honestly not sure what good that will do to save me from the monsters in the mine. Honestly, Marlin, if you're going to help me, why are you giving me a sword covered in rust? I reached level 1 farming and level 2 foraging before day 6, which means I can finally craft the scarecrow to keep those stupid crows away for my crops, take a stroll to meet with a wizard who teaches me Junimo-ish, and I check out some of the bundles. It looks like the bundles I got aren't new, but maybe we'll get better luck with the other bundles. I foolishly gave away any spring forageables I found, so I'm unable to finish the spring forageable bundle until I can find a daffodil and a wild horseradish. Jazz sees me opening up a garbage can. Oops! I upgrade my backpack to level 2 and I spend the day fishing as usual. Also, if you've been paying attention, you'll notice I haven't found an artifact by day 6, which is just wild to me. Hopefully we find one soon. I would really love some free cauliflower seeds. I give Mayor Lewis a silver dandelion for his birthday and I find glass shards at the beach, which I quickly turn in at the museum. I do some fishing and then I head into the mines for the first time, and I actually hit floor 7, which is a bit of a surprise because today was a neutral luck day. I find enough copper to craft a furnace and then I go to bed for the night. Day 8 was a standard routine. I watered the plants, pet the cat, gave away a few gifts to the villagers, and I fished some more. I also went back into the mines and made it to floor 10 this time. I have so much crap in my inventory, I decide to craft an extra chest and I take a trip to the community center to finish the spring forageable bundle, unlocking the pantry room and the fish tank bundles. It looks like there are some new crops that we have to grow, the summer squash and the broccoli, and then we also turned some fish into the fishing bundle. It doesn't look like we got a bunch of new remix bundles, but that's okay because we still have 3 to go. Not a whole lot happened today, mostly we just did a bunch of foraging, fishing, and we got to level 2 farming, which included the mayonnaise machine. I crack open a few geodes from exploring the mines last night, and I finally get those free cauliflower seeds from the museum. I return back to the farm and I plant all of the cauliflower seeds, and then I go out to the lake and I start doing some more fishing for the night. While I'm fishing at the lake, I get a new notification that I see in the bottom left for a bullhead fishing frenzy? I don't know what it means, but I decide to walk around the lake and I find a fishing spot with a bunch of bullheads jumping up out of the water, and oh my god, I find a fishing chest, a treasure chest, with a dinosaur egg. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am already getting pretty tired of how often I have to run back and forth from the river next to the chicken coop to refill my watering can. I know I should probably build a well, but I gotta say, I really miss the pond that's available in the standard and forest farm layouts. I head over to town to give Caroline her daily gift, and there's a new type of quest that gives a ticket? What is that? I will absolutely find 5 coal for you, Clint, no problem. Except that today is a bad luck day, which I think is a negative 4% drop rate, so I'm not sure if we should be going into the mines at all. Of course I do it anyway, and I only find 1 coal in the mine. Sweet. I stopped at a new book vendor, and holy crap, these things are expensive. They're really cool if you have extra money to spare though. Couldn't be me. I guess I'll pass on that for now. As I'm walking around town thinking about how I need to find hash browns for the dish of the sea recipe, I find 2 hash browns at the saloon for dirt cheap, and I buy the recipe. What a steal. I didn't even know you could buy the recipe at the saloon. Gus is really coming in hot with those saves. It's day 12 and I quickly gather the spring forageables in the crop field, plant the remaining spring seeds, and take a trip to the traveling cart. I pick up the magnet bobber and the summer spangle as a gift for Caroline. I finally purchased the iridium rod from Willie. I just caught seaweed and it broke. What the fuck? The spirits don't hate me today, so I have a much easier time finding the coal that Clint requested for the new ticket quest we saw on the board yesterday. I read on the wiki that they can be exchanged at Mayor Lewis's house for prizes. He apparently set it up to promote the quest board as a spirit of goodwill for helping the neighbors. Let's be real though, we're just here for the prizes. It looks like the next few tickets are an orange sapling, some kind of weird looking wild seeds, and a box? A mystery box? Today is a somewhat big day, or at least it would be if I had saved up more money for strawberry seeds. I wallow in self-pity, then take my anger out on some children by winning the egg festival with a measly 11 eggs. I actually thought I was going to lose, and I was going to be so upset if I didn't get my straw hat. After the festival, I plant the 4 strawberry seeds, do some quick foraging around the farm, and I finally unlock the new cookout kit to craft the dish of the sea and catch the legend. Now all we need is level 7 fishing and a rainy day. It's day 14, and I am really kicking myself for not giving the summer spangle to Caroline sooner. I thought I gave her that. I'm really feeling the lack of funds as I see both the dish of the sea and a coffee bean seed at the traveling cart. So I run over to the pier to catch some fish and sell them to Willie, hoping to make enough funds to afford both. I finally give Caroline the summer spangle, which she loves, and it gets her hearts up to 2. But since I spent my whole morning fishing, it's a little too late to visit her in the tea room, so I guess we'll visit her early tomorrow. I did manage to buy both the dish of the sea and the coffee bean before before bedtime. On day 15, I finally get access to Caroline's tea room and we enjoy some fresh green tea together. Immediately after having tea with Caroline, I sneak into Abigail's room and carry her through Journey of the Prairie King. Journey of the Prairie King was a lot of fun, so I make a mental note to play more of it at the saloon when I can. I visit the community center and I place a green bean and a kale into the spring crops bundle to unlock the boiler room bundles. We still haven't seen any entirely new remix bundles. Sorry everyone. Today marks the beginning of salmonberry season, so I take time to gather as many as I can while beating myself up about not reaching level 4 foraging for the extra berry harvest perk. I give Robin her lost axe and, you guessed it, I spent the rest of the day fishing and foraging. We reached level 3 farming overnight, and we reached level 7 fishing, which means now all we have to do is wait for a rainy day to catch the legend at the lake. There are a lot of crops to harvest and replace today, but I don't have a seed, so I make a trip to Pierre's for parsnip and potato seeds. When I get there, the evil man from Joja Cola shows up and threatens to steal Pierre's customers with a 50% sell. Tempting, but then I remember the prize tickets in Mayor Lewis's house, and he's probably never going to let me back into the community center if I betray him. So I decide to do an evil challenge run at a later time. I buy 30 potato seeds and 10 parsnip seeds for my fields. I also get the tea sapling recipe in the mail from Caroline. I don't have nearly as much fiber as I thought, so I grab my scythe and run around the forest hacking up any weeds I see while also collecting more salmonberry seeds. On my way to the mines, I find Haley and I give her a daffodil. She seems to like it. She also asks me if I have makeup on. Do you think I have time to put makeup on in the morning? The TV said I had good luck today, so I take a chance in the mines and find another earth crystal. I'm pretty sure I donated one to the museum already because I forgot I needed it for the mayonnaise machine. I have no intention to drink the mayonnaise, by the way. I promise I only intend to sell it. I only make 4,000 G from the tea saplings that night. We had another lucky day today on the farm, and it's raining tomorrow. What are the odds we will get 3 lucky days in a row? I craft the mayonnaise machine with the earth crystal I found yesterday in the mines, and I continue with my usual chores. But I do make a mental note to purchase a few trap boppers at Willie's today, or rather, I forget to. We have to do it tomorrow. I take the time to chat with a few of the locals. Evelyn is my absolute favorite, so I give her a daffodil when I see her. And I explore the mines instead for copper and another earth crystal for another mayonnaise machine. On day 18, I check the television and it says we have another good luck day. That's 3 in a row now. Since I have 2 Dish of the Seas, I'm not too worried about not being able to catch the legend tomorrow. Demetrius shows up and I choose the mushroom cave. Now, normally I would choose bats because growing fruits in the bundles can be annoying. The mushroom cave is actually better with 1.6 because you get a free mushroom dehydrator, which is 10,000 G. And dehydrating is really good if you get the artisan skill later. So obviously I picked the mushroom cave. My chickens have started giving good quality eggs, so I get good quality mayonnaise now. That's 285 G per mayo in the shipping bin, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. I should probably start working on getting the silo and coop upgraded soon, but I've been concentrating so much on catching the legend, I feel like I haven't been doing a great job with everything else. I really want to work on my progress in the mine so I can craft quality sprinklers for summer. I didn't think catching the legend was going to take up so much mental energy, but here we are. Pam gets a cold beer for her birthday, immediately putting her at 3 hearts. That was so easy. And I of course spend the rest of the day fishing at the docks at a fishing bubble spot. On the way home, I catch Linus, the raccoons, sifting through the trash. Apparently, the mushroom log produces mushrooms every 4 days, and it produces mushrooms in all seasons. It requires moss as an ingredient, and I have no idea what that is, so. Okay, on to bigger, better things. Today is a big day, and I don't think I have to explain why. You already know how stressed I've been about this freaking fish. It takes me nearly all day. I am getting so aggravated. I am so upset. I feel like I'm gonna run out of time before I catch it. I actually had it on the line 5 times before catching it successfully, and I was cursing up a storm. I was so mad. This fish was literally ruining my life. I thought this fish was going to be the end of this playthrough. Oh yeah, and by the way, during all of this manic nonsense that's going on, I do end up catching an ancient seed and a new book inside of a treasure chest. But honestly, I am so concentrated on this dumb fish, I barely even notice. Like, I don't actually even fully acknowledge the fact that I just caught an ancient seed and a book, which is a really big deal. Today is another good luck day. How many days is that now? 5 in a row? I feel like I'm not taking much advantage of the good luck days, but now that the legend is out of the way, I can focus on other things, like actually making progress in the mines. Before I go into the mines though, I take the geodes I've been hoarding to Clint, who hands over a few new artifact pieces that I donate to the museum, including the artifacts I've already had for a while, and the ancient seed I caught yesterday. I get a starfruit seed, an ancient seed, and the crafting recipe just in case I find another ancient seed. Then I make my way straight to the mines where I spend the rest of the day. Oh yeah, and today is Shane's birthday, so I stop at the Star Drop Saloon to give him a beer, further enabling his drinking problem. It's yet another good luck day, so I try to be as productive as possible. I finally plant the ancient seed and the rest of the spring seeds to fill up space in the crop fields, really hoping to unlock the quality sprinkler before summer. The book vendor is back again, and this time I can use a trading menu for any books I have on me. I reach floor 47 in the ice caves, and I find a wooden mallet in the mines that does additional damage to slimes, then I pass out for the first time. Day 22 is a bad luck day, so I start working on smelting iron bars and I ask Robin to build a silo for me. Jody gets a cauliflower for a quest and I reach level 5 farming and choose the tiller profession. On day 23, I venture back to the mines with my wooden mallet and knock out as many slimes and rocks as I can. I drop up a few items at the community center to finish the adventurers bundle and it unlocks the bulletin board. I did end up getting the red cabbage bundle, and I also got a new helpers bundle with prize tickets and mystery boxes. It's day 24 and I am really excited for the flower dance, so I rush through my morning chores. When I get there, I buy my first rare crow. Thankfully, I saved up enough money for this festival, and when I approach Abigail to ask her to dance with me, she rejects me? I thought the flower festival was 3 hearts and it was 4, so I didn't dance with anyone. I watched her dance with Sebastian and it hurt, and I went home sad. I wake up on day 25 after crying myself to sleep, and Robin has finished the silo, so I start using the scythe on green grass that has been slowly taking over my farm. I harvest the spring seeds and tulips for the garden bundle, and Evelyn loves tulips, so she of course gets a few as well. I buy a fried egg and the maki roll recipe from Gus for community center bundles. On day 26, I visit the traveling cart for the red cabbage and a crayfish to finish the crab pot bundle. I also noticed the fish smoker recipe at Willie's. It's 10,000 G, and I'm wondering if the profits combine with the angler profession and the artisan profession. I stop by Clint's to upgrade my first tool, my axe, and I turn in the crayfish to complete the crab pot bundle. I also explore the mines a bit and make it home just in time to pass out and reach level 3 combat. On the second to last day of spring, I place the well and I reach level 4 mining. The last day of a season is always really busy, even for us gamers. When I wake up, I get the Cowpoke achievement for making 50k, and I get a new tool upgrade notification. The last of our crops are ready, so I finish harvesting all of them, and I decide to make some time for socializing. Jody literally body blocks me from speaking to Abigail, and I grab the new copper axe from Clint. I finish my day by clearing the farm for summer and I reach level 6 farming. I get the quality sprinkler crafting recipe, but I don't have any gold for it yet. Just my luck. Day 29 and it's the first day of summer. I have big plans for my fields, mostly consisting of blueberry seeds and other crops that we need for the bundles. And of course I grab my sunflower seeds at Jojo Mart because they're cheaper. I don't have any quality sprinklers yet, so I will have to water all of these by hand for a little bit, but hopefully not too long. Oh yeah, and after all my hard work is done, I share a beer with Shane at the pond. Day 2 of summer, so much watering. Thankfully it's not too bad because I built the well though. It takes about 3 hours for me to water this entire field. I do a lot of summer foraging and chopping down trees, and I reach level 5 foraging and choose the gatherer profession. Day 31, Mayor Lewis has requested that I find his purple shorts. The bathhouse was unlocked in the mountains, so I use it after spending the entire day completing the summer fish list. I get a cutscene with Willie, and he alludes to the Ginger Island boat, and I noticed a new item in his shop that I interact with. We can choose new bobber styles now. Obviously I picked the rubber ducky. In my quest to retrieve Mayor Lewis's purple shorts, I walk in on Shane passed out drunk in his room. I visit the right side of the beach to catch the crimson fish, and it was super easy, probably due to the muscle gained from catching the legend in spring. On day 33, I noticed a new notification has popped up on my screen to tell me that my copper pickaxe is ready. Before I visit Clint, I purchase the duck feather and eggplant and the rare seeds from the traveling cart and immediately donate them to the community center. I grab my shiny new copper pickaxe from Clint and make it all the way from floor 60 to 78 in the mines, where I pass out. I do find the new summer squash seeds though in a wooden barrel, so I can plant them early. On day 34, I harvest the red peppers, the first crops of summer, and I save a few as gifts for Mayor Lewis and sell the rest. I also complete the Summer Forageables bundle and I am rewarded with the Summer Wild Seeds. I donate the diamond I found last night to receive a lucky lunch too. I pop on the lucky lunch before heading into the mines and reach level 84 pretty easily. That night I reach level 4 combat and I choose the miner skill profession as well. On day 35 the traveling cart has a snow yam and a truffle available. However, it doesn't look like the bundles that I have require a truffle or truffle oil, so I save my money for another day. The minecart bundle is finished now, which is honestly my favorite aside from the greenhouse because that means we can get around town and the mines a lot easier. And to celebrate, I give gifts and finish quests for the rest of the day. On day 36, Willie wants 3 red snapper fish. They're only caught at the ocean when it rains, so I never end up getting any in time to receive the new prize tickets. On floor 87 of the mines, there's a cave with mushrooms and I gather every single one. We actually need 6 purple mushrooms for the bundles and this is perfect. I really lucked out tonight. On day 37, my summer spangles and sunflowers are ready, so I set aside a few for Caroline and the garden bundle for the community center. There's another prize ticket quest on the board. This time, Demetrius wants a largemouth bass, so I gladly hand it over in exchange for the orange seeds. Oh, I also got my second rare crow today from turning in enough items at the museum. We need 5 mystery boxes, so I probably have to get enough tickets to unlock more of those. Speaking of mystery boxes, what the heck was that? It's the first rainy day of summer and I completely forget to catch the red snapper fish, but I do find a bunch of new weapons in the mine, including the Yeti tooth. Look at this thing, I will never need another sword ever again, until the galaxy sword. I scoff at the obsidian edge on floor 90 and pawn it off to Marlin before heading home for the night. With the help of my new Yeti tooth, I reach level 5 combat and choose the fighter profession. Day 39 and it's the day of the summer luau, and my melons are ready. Unfortunately, I don't have a gold star cauliflower for the soup pot, so I toss in a gold parsnip instead. The gourmand snob doesn't hate it, but he doesn't love it either, which kind of sucks. For those of you who don't know, if you do really well, I think you get extra friendly points toward the attending villagers. Better luck next year, I guess. Day 40 is more mine prog, and I reach level 100 for my first star drop. It tastes like completion. On day 41, the weather channel says there's something weird happening with the weather tomorrow. Okay. I don't know how to prepare, so I disassociate my stress by catching the red snapper and the octopus today. Yay. I spot Abigail and she sweetly plays her flute with me in the rain. I take it as a good luck sign and I reach the bottom of the mines where I get the Skull Cavern key. Day 42 is really weird. There's a weird notification on my screen when I wake up and everything is green. There's like a weird green filter over everything. When I step outside to water my crops, it's already raining and it's everywhere. There are weeds everywhere and weird trees and so much moss. Maybe this is why good old Concerned Ape nerfed the tree sapling price. Look at all this fiber I found. There are so many fiddlehead fern trees today too. A lot of the villagers are huddled indoors and the game won't even let me give anyone gifts, which is pretty rude. Oh, also Demetrius is outside in a biohazard suit, which is pretty typical. It doesn't look like the community center doors are unlocked, so I get the seed maker and finish my day harvesting all of the fiber and moss I can find, which pays off because I level my foraging skill. It didn't even occur to me that using the scythe gives XP for foraging. Neat. Our first round of blueberries made a lot of money today, so I plan to upgrade a lot of stuff over the next few days. The day after the big green rain event is surprisingly uneventful. A lot of the villagers have some pretty funny things to say in retrospect, but nothing else really happens aside from the chicken coop finally getting an upgrade for the dinosaur egg. Day 44 and 45 are mostly uneventful, everyone gets gifts, and I almost gather enough wood for the house upgrade. Day 46, as I'm chopping up wood in Cindersap Forest, I see a bulletin announcement for the Trout Derby taking place summer 20th and 21st, and there will be prizes. It's taken forever, but I finally get the keg recipe that night. Not getting those strawberries early on and choosing the remix bundles really set me back on this playthrough. I feel like progress has been going really slow and really randomly. It feels all over the place. I try not to let it get me down and I press on. Day 47, we're almost halfway through this challenge. Time sure does fly past. When you're in pain. I'm kidding. On day 47, I pay Robin for the first house upgrade, the big chest recipe, and the workbench recipe. Demetrius gets a present because I'm really hoping he'll give me a Nautilus shell in the mail for the bulletin bundle, and it's his birthday. I walk into Abigail's 6-heart event in the graveyard. I gift Robin her weekly spaghetti, and Pam's gifted beer gives me a new achievement. On day 48, Dad sends me 30 stone in the mail as if that will help. My steel pickaxe is finished, but it's a bad luck day, so I decide to check out the new Trout Derby instead. I caught 6, and I only found 1 tag. tag. I was rewarded with the tent kit, which is pretty cool. It lets you sleep outside instead of returning home to the bed before 2 a.m. I was stressing out about the Maki rule for the Home Chef bundle, but the traveling cart had it today and some wool, so I picked up both. I also picked up another sweet gem seed because it never hurts to have more. I purchased a duck at Marnie's and named it George. I honestly forget that there's a villager in town named George, so that was an honest mistake. I also looked for the last dwarf scroll I need and find a Master Compendium book on floor 33 that increases the chance of monsters dropping double loot. On my way back home, I stopped by the saloon to buy everyone a round of beer, and Marnie gets a special pink cake because I need her to like me so I can enter her bedroom for reasons. I honestly can't believe we're here already, but I am officially halfway through this playthrough, and I honestly feel like I haven't been doing this as effectively as I could have been. Alas, we still have a lot of work to do, and I still haven't found Mayor Lou's purple shorts. Clearly, I haven't been working hard enough on this challenge. After morning chores, I place the keg down and add hops to get started on the brewing bundle for the community center, and I also place a few lightning rods and bee houses around the crop fields. This isn't the best optimized layout for special honey, but it works for what we have going on here. I give Grandma Evelyn her favorite chocolate cake, and I give Gus the fish taco I just purchased from him, which he loves very, very much. I finished the 2500 G vault bundle to get even more chocolate cake, and I share it with Abigail. I'm on a roll, so Robin gets more spaghetti, Demetrius gets his favorite bean hot pot, and Jody gets the grape she requested from the board. Shane and Pam get beer. There's still some time left in the day, so I work on the foraging skill and find a mystery box in a tree. On day 51, I catch the lava eel on floor 100 in the mines. Day 52, the first thunderstorm happens. It's a good thing I put down all those lightning rods. That could have been really bad. I find Shane at the cliffs, who seems to be very down on life. Bad for him, good for me. That's one step closer to the blue chicken and helping him get his life back together. Mayor Lewis gets a carp in exchange for a new prize ticket, and Evelyn asks for a ruby, which unlocks the gopher achievement for completing 10 requests from the request board. See, Mayor Lewis? The prize tickets were a good incentive after all. Instead of turning it in at the ticket booth, I take it to the community center to complete the new Help Wanted bundle, and I get a star drop tea as my reward. I catch the ice pip and the stonefish in the mines today, and I receive the level 9 fishing skill as my reward. On day 53, Shane shows up bright and early to thank me for saving his life, and he promises me he's going to get his life together. Marnie still won't let me into her room, so I try to bribe her with a sweet pea, and it doesn't work. I take my business elsewhere, and in this case, it's giving George a hot pepper for his knee. To make it through the skull caverns more easily, I need more gold, so the rest of the day is more gold farming in the mines. There's another thunderstorm today, and it's the last day of the blueberries will be ready to harvest, so I gathered them up for the last big crop haul of the season. A pomegranate shows up at the traveling cart, and I obviously purchased it even though the pomegranate tree will be ready next season. Since I'm mostly dependent on sprinklers now, I drop off the watering can at Clint's for the copper upgrade. Day 55 is another rainy day, so I take a trip to the mines, and after a lot of digging, I find the red dwarf scroll on floor 13. Afterwards, I look for more iron and coal to craft more bombs. Unfortunately, the museum is closed, so I go straight to bed at 1 a.m. and reach level 9 farming to unlock the seed maker, iridium sprinkler, and quality fertilizer on the second to last day of summer. Yep, the last day of summer is here, and there's a lot to prepare the crop fields for, so I took some time to prepare for the next season and sold off any extra stuff I had lying around in chests that I've been hoarding so that I could start off tomorrow with more money to work with. Later in the day, I visit the dwarf shop to collect another rare crow, and I hatch a tiny dragon on my farm. I name it Lucky, then I was off to the beach to bid farewell to my first summer with the dance of the moonlight jellies. The first day of fall wasn't as crazy as it usually is for me because I had already crafted all of the quality sprinklers, and I had done the math days before to know what I had to spend at Pierre's. I moved around some of the sprinklers, crafted a few more, and bought as many cranberries and pumpkins as I could while fitting in more crops for quests, gifts, and bundles that I knew I would need. And here you thought I wasn't planning any of this, right? I've clearly learned my lesson here, folks. There are obviously some things I wish I had gotten head on. Kegs, more gold, more crops, but we're working with what we got, and we won't be making 1 million in my first 100 days, that's for sure. My copper watering can is ready, just in time to water the first crops of the season. A lot of the land that I had prepped around the sprinklers at the end of summer were overgrown with weeds, so I had to do a lot of watering myself. By 4 p.m., I am completely exhausted, but no one's going to sow all of these seeds for me, so I eat Robin's spaghetti and Evelyn's cookies in spite and trudge through the rest of my workday. On day 58, I wake up for the first time without having to water anything, and I feel immediate relief, a false sense of security, and a lot of time on my hands. Lewis's special order board is ready, and I happily get started immediately with Robin's 1000 wood order since I need some for the deluxe chicken coop soon anyway. In Pierre's store, I give Abigail a chocolate cake, which takes her to 8 hearts. So I walk back over to the counter and purchase the bouquet and walk back over to Abigail and ask her to be my girlfriend, and of course she says yes. Before gathering wood for Robin, I start catching all of the fish for fall, including the legendary angler, which is laughably easy compared to the legend. I also finished the fall forageables bundle. All we need now is a crocus to finish repairing the bridge to the quarry. On day 59, I spent a lot of my time chopping down trees in the hopes of completing Robin's 1000 wood request. I don't complete it, but I get really close. So on day 60, I work on it more and turn the request into Robin for a 2500 gold reward. I drop off the walleye at the community center to finish the glittering boulder bundle, the worst bundle in my opinion. I never pan for anything, ever, but I'm happy the little Junimos are happy. On day 61, Willie apparently heard what I said about panning and handed over a copper pan in spite. True to my word, I went home and threw it into a box never to think of it ever again. For completing Robin's request, she sent me blueprints for a stone chest. I'd prefer to save stone for upgrading buildings and building stairs for the mine, so I probably won't use it, especially since wooden chests don't degrade over time. Can you imagine how annoying a mechanic like that would be? After my first round of exploring the mines, I stopped to hand out some gifts and Alex confesses to stalking me. He watched me catch a salmon. I run back home to empty my pockets and head back into the mines to look for more iron ore to create for more bombs. I'm building up the resources to go to the Skull Caverns soon. The Royal Serpent has a 0.8% chance of dropping the rabbit's foot, and since it's taking me so long to build the deluxe coop for the rabbits, I figure that's probably our best shot right now. Day 63 is a Sunday, so I check the traveling cart and I find nothing of interest. The tomato juice in the keg is ready. With patch 1.6, juice and pickled items now resemble the color of the item, so the tomato juice actually looks like tomato juice and the jar is different now too. That's pretty cool. On day 64, Gunther shows up at my front door to congratulate me on donating so many items to the museum and hands over the rusty key. I can finally get into the sewers and purchase the void egg from Krobus. I see Marnie at Pierre's store and hand over the amaranth she asked for, and I turn in some wine to the community center to finish the brewer bundle. All I need to unlock the greenhouse now is a pumpkin, which should be soon. I also purchased the last vault bundle for 25,000 G to finally unlock the bus to the oasis, and I sell some gold quality cranberries I had been hoarding to afford the void egg from Krobus. And I place my new void egg in the incubator before I go to sleep. On day 65, I stop by Marnie's ranch to give her a cave carrot for her goats, and I find the prismatic jelly on floor 13 in the mines. It almost succeeded in defeating me, and I'm really glad I brought extra food along as a precaution, even though most of the meals were gifts. Later that night, I meet Abigail in her room, and she introduces me to some of her friends who call her out and may have forced her to confess her love for me. I'm seeing this for the first time, and this might be my favorite heart event in Stardew Valley. And in a twisted fuck you kind of way, I'm visited by the witch overnight who drops a free void egg into my chicken coop. After morning chores, I ask Pam to drive me to the oasis and I spend too much time fishing up the scorpion fish before finally taking a chance in the Skull Caverns. A royal serpent drops a prismatic shard on floor 9, and I am bombarded by monsters on floor 24. I almost chicken out, but decide not to panic, leave, and push through to floor 25. Before heading home, I get one of the best weapons in the game, the Galaxy Sword. Not bad for our first run in the Skull Caverns. I also reach level 8 mining that night so I can craft bigger, better bombs. On day 67, I visit Sandy at the oasis this time and purchase a few seeds before heading into the Skull Caverns. With the Galaxy Sword in my possession, I make it to floor 45 this time and I find 15 iridium ores and another prismatic shard, this time from an iridium node, a 3.5% chance. No luck with the rabbit's foot though. On day 68, I wake up to find 10,000 gold in my mailbox for Mr. Key for reaching level 25 in the Skull Caverns, and I get to work harvesting the first pumpkins of the season. I stop at Robin's to begin the final upgrade on the chicken coop, and I turn in the pumpkin to finish the greenhouse bundle at the community center. The Junimos work on the greenhouse overnight, and I notice what looks like a raccoon make an appearance. On day 69, as I'm petting Vivi, he tells me he loves me, and now that our first pet is at maximum hearts, we can start finding random gifts from them soon. This is a new feature introduced in 1.6. Gifts vary depending on the pet you choose, and one of the possibilities from cats is a rabbit's foot. It's a super low percentage that's probably not worth pursuing though. I trigger the cutscene at Marnie's to unlock Shane's blue chickens, and I purchase one and name it Shane Jr. Very unique, I know. On my way to Clint's, I run into Sebastian, who really needs a hug. Back at the farm, I till the soil in my greenhouse and place my first iridium sprinkler with an ancient seed. Now before any experts say anything, I realize I totally messed up the most efficient iridium sprinkler replacement. I'm totally horrified to find this out later as I'm editing this video. RIP. future Mooney. I take a trip to the mines to do a bit more iron farming, and to my surprise, I find Abigail attempting to explore on her own. On day 70, I purchase a rabbit and named it Barley. That's nearly all of the farm animals. Day 71, there's a strong wind that passes through the night, so I make a mental note to check that out before the end of the day. When I visit the chicken coop, I'm prompted to give the new void chicken a name, and I name it Witch Princess. If you get the reference, please comment with your favorite version of the Witch Princess down below. I accept another request from the wizard at the special request board, and I stop by the beach to help Haley find her bracelet. She makes some moves on me and embraces me right before I walk over to the mysterious man on the beach who is selling the mermaid's pendant that I intend to give to Abigail. As I'm walking to Pierre's to find Abigail, she walks out in front of me and I propose. She's so stinking cute. I make it to Cinderstap Forest to find a quest hovering over the new severed tree stump next to Marnie's. I need 100 hardwood to fix it, so I take a trip over to the secret woods to start foraging hardwood. Before you ask, no, I don't have nearly enough for repairing Willie's boat later. I completely blanked because I'm so focused on the stupid rabbit's foot. You'll see what I mean later in the video. I reach level 10 farming that night, my first max skill, and I choose the artisan profession. Okay, so I wake up on day 72, also the day of the Stardew Valley fair, with this crazy idea that today will be the day that I find a rabbit's foot in the Skull Cavern, and I have until 3 p.m. to do it, so I grab every bomb I have, a few staircases, and I poof my way to the oasis. And guess what? I actually find one. A few minutes from the closing of the Stardew Valley fair. Literally mere seconds, I about piss myself randomly grabbing items that I think will win at the Grange display and sprint with my last double shot espresso buff on, and I make it just in time. I'm literally screaming. I literally grabbed whatever I thought would work without much thought. In retrospect, that was really dumb. I should have thought it through, but here we are. I spent a long time at the fishing minigame to win enough points to buy the rare crow, the green rug, and the star drop before allowing Lewis to judge our display cases. Since I randomly grabbed a lot of stuff from my chest, I don't really expect any great news here. And when I talk to Mayor Lewis, I am shocked. And holy shit, I can't believe it. I actually won with 105 points. I got the rabbit's foot, and I beat that stupid Pierre to top it all off. Sweet victory, my friends. This is the day to remember. Before bed, I rush to the community center to donate my hard-earned rabbit's foot, and I complete the Enchantress bundle for the bulletin board. All that's left now is to get a Nautilus shell. On day 73, I ask Robin to start working on the barn, and I spend most of the day gathering hardwood and doing some chores around the farm. Day 74 is my marriage ceremony with Abigail, and afterwards, Evelyn greets me at my farm and hands over a garden pot. I'll take that as a little wedding gift. Very sweet, Evelyn. I harvest a lot of cranberries and work a bit more on the greenhouse. Please don't look. I know it's cringe and abysmal. I don't know what I was thinking. It's a shit show over here. Marnie gets a diamond for her birthday, and I'm finally able to get Lewis's purple shorts from Marnie's room. It's too bad I wasn't able to reach them sooner. I could have used them in the Grange display, but being the good civilian that I am, I forego blackmail and hand them over without a fuss. On day 75, the traveling cart has a crocus available, and I purchase it to finish the winter forageable bundle. I also picked up the Winter's Eve rare crow because it's 1,000 gold cheaper. I make some time to gather even more iron ore from the mines, and as I'm leaving, a private cutscene occurs between Mayor Lewis and Marnie that I probably wasn't meant to overhear. Don't worry, your little secret is safe with me, Mayor Lewis, even if I think you're a no-good, slimy, fictional character undeserving of Marnie's affection. I purchase a dairy cow on day 76 and I name it Daisy, and I donate the 100 hardwood to the large stump. On day 77, as I'm visiting the secret woods for more hardwood, I check on the stump to see a raccoon has moved in and it has a quest for me to complete. As much as I want to pay the 10,000 gold to work on these quests, it occurs to me I should probably prioritize Ginger Island over shiny new 1.6 content, which means I should have saved the 100 hardwood for Willie's boat. Mistakes have been made. I hand over the ectoplasm to the wizard, Robin gets a plate of spaghetti for her birthday, and I make another trip to the Skull Caverns for more iridium and treasure troves to exchange for hopefully more artifact donations. On day 78, the wizard sends me a mini obelisk blueprint in the mail in exchange for the ectoplasm. Since I have so much money, I decide to upgrade the barn, and I work on clearing out the quarry that opened up for some quick iridium ore and another prismatic shard from an iridium node. I reach level 9 mining on day 79, and on day 80 I plant tree seeds and the mahogany seeds from the secret forest around my farm to work on getting more hardwood to fix Willie's boat. Day 81 I exchange 2 prize tickets for a cute bed and 4 mushroom logs for the farm, and I stop by the sewers to purchase a star drop for 20,000 gold from Krobus. Just 4 more to go. Day 82, Clint sends a geode crusher blueprint in the mail in exchange for helping him complete the Cape Control special request. On day 83, the last crops of the season are in, and I'm really glad I didn't bother making a goal for 1 million gold because I'm not even close. I'm still working on getting foraging to level 10 to make hardwood gathering easier, so I clear more trees on the farm and I even find a few hardwood stumps next to Grandpa's altar. At 10 p.m, I excitedly make my way to the Spirits Eve festival. As a big fan of Halloween myself, I really enjoy this festival quite a lot and the music is my favorite. I pick up the rare crow, a few other decorations, and seek out the golden pumpkin. I work on the iridium sprinklers in my greenhouse and I lose track of time, so I pass out near my front door hoping Abigail will carry me back to the house. She did not, probably to take revenge on me beating her at the egg festival. I reached level 9 foraging though. On day 84, Abigail surprises me with the marriage star drop and I harvest the last of the cranberries on the last day of the season for a total of 31,000 gold. It's day 85 of our 100-day challenge and it's the first day of winter. I got a fair bit of gold from emptying my chest and selling off extra stuff I don't need. I visit the secret woods to gather more hardwood. Now that there is less than 20 days left, I'm really regretting using 100 hardwood on the raccoon house. I'm really crossing my fingers we can get to Ginger Island in time to at least catch all of the fish. I turned in the Nautilus shell at the community center. It's a really bittersweet goodbye to these cute little guys, honestly. I catch my first perch, a squid, a lingcod, and the legendary glacier fish today. Krobus gets a horseradish for his birthday that I've been saving since spring. The very next day, there's an explosion in the night that I apparently sleep through, lol. On day 86, the community center is finally restored to everyone's surprise. There's a small celebration amongst all of us townsfolk until Morris from Jojo Mart shows up and tries to crash our party. Pierre takes this opportunity to pelt him out of existence. Good riddance. Since the community center is now complete, there are a few side quests we can do, like the Dark Talisman quest to unlock the swamps and the witch's hut. These are necessary areas to unlock to catch all of the fish in the game. Before visiting Krobus, I warp over to the Oasis to play in the casino and get the last rare crow needed for the deluxe rare crow's crafting recipe. Before bed, I visit Krobus and they unlock a swamp area for me to retrieve the Dark Talisman, but it's too late and I decide to come back tomorrow. I max the mining skill to 10 and choose the prospector profession. On day 87, I get a lot of mail, including a dark sign recipe from Krobus and the deluxe rare crow recipe. I craft it immediately and I line it up next to the other rare crows. Robin has completed the final barn upgrade, so I visit Marnie to purchase a goat, a sheep, and a pig. I also give Marnie a diamond and complete another friendship achievement, the beloved farmer. As promised, I visit the swamp to find the Dark Talisman and catch the slime jack, leaving only a few fish left on the list. Before bed, I give Linus a gift for his birthday and I take the Dark Talisman to the henchman who is guarding the witch's hut. I've never done this quest before, by the way, so I didn't know to bring a void mayonnaise. On day 88, I get the cutscene for Willie's boat and I donate the 5 iridium and the 5 battery packs. All I need now is the hardwood to visit Ginger Island. I successfully hand over the void mayonnaise to the witch's henchman and hand over the magic ink to the wizard. He unlocks the ability to craft the Junimo hut, another item I've never had before. To my surprise, it doesn't actually require all that much to make. As I'm staring at my fish collection on day 89, I see there's a new fish to catch from the 1.6 update, so I take the trip to Cindersap Forest to catch the goby. Catching the goby takes a few hours, but luckily it's not fast, so it's really easy once I have it on the line. There isn't a lot I can think of that I should be doing, so I visit the spooky mines next to the quarry to retrieve the golden scythe. Afterwards, I sell everything I've gathered and call it a night. I have an embarrassing confession on day 90 that I only now realized. This whole time I could have planted mahogany tree seeds with tree fertilizer for more hardwood, so I get to work and cross my fingers we can get to Ginger Island in time. On day 91, I crack open a few mystery boxes and get 10 pieces of hardwood to add to the collection. I use the combat book from the mystery boxes right away to gain some free combat XP. Afterwards, I clear the remaining mature trees on my farm in an attempt to reach level 10 foraging, but sadly, it's not enough. It's never enough. Day 92 is the day of the Winter Festival, and for some reason, Jody shows up to ask for a largemouth bass and invites me over for dinner. I admittedly panicked because I thought this was a timed event and I thought I had to choose between this or the Winter Festival. The wiki says I don't. Crisis averted. After caring for my animals, I make it over to the Winter Festival and kick Willie's butt at fishing with 6 fish caught. When the festival kicks me out, I rush over to the secret woods to harvest my 12 hardwood for the day. On day 93, I chop down some of the mahogany trees and I have 190 pieces of hardwood, which means tomorrow is the big day. Day 94, I bring maple syrup with me to the secret woods, I donate the 200 pieces of hardwood and I finish repairing Willie's boat. I forgot the boat was repaired overnight, which means we have to wait even longer. So I empty my pockets and drop off a few artifacts at the museum. I also get a few secret notes out of the way. Did you know you can place a few items in a fish tank, including the treasure chest and a pearl with the new 1.6 update? Well, now you do. I accidentally triggered the Gridball Heart event with Shane. He only drinks one, I swear, and then he kisses me. This guy is a serious problem. When I get back home, I prepare my inventory for a full day at Ginger Island tomorrow and I go to bed. Today's the day. It's day 95 and I'm at Willie's shop bright and early to visit Ginger Island as soon as the shop opens, and then I was off. How exciting is this? I feel like I'm gonna throw up. When I arrive, I set down the chest to empty my pockets a bit and get to work on finding some easy golden walnuts. I think I've brought this up before, but I'll say it again. I really have no idea what I'm doing here. I have not spent a lot of time at Ginger Island, and this was my first ever attempt to gather all of these things, so I'm following the Stardew Wiki for most of this. Before I begin scavenging, I catch the lionfish at the bitch. At the beach. I did a lot of research on the wiki before starting the day, and my plan of action is to first unlock the beach house. Once that's finished, the resort must be unlocked to clear the obstructed area on the beach. The stingray is over there, which is our big objective. There are enough golden walnuts between the forest areas, the west side, exploring the mines, fishing, and the puzzle room, so we have a lot of work to do. Obviously, I am not going for the most optimized way of doing this because that's just not an option now with 5 days left. We out here hustling, baby! By the end of the night, I've unlocked the western section of the island with 10 golden walnuts, and with barely any time to spare, I unlocked the farmhouse with an additional 20 golden walnuts, and then I call it a night. I would say that today was very successful. On day 96, I catch the discus in the river and I realize I forgot my watering can back at the farm. I need the watering can to enter the volcano mine, so I decide to take a quick trip back to the farm. When I arrive, the Squid Fest is in full swing, so I participate for a little bit, but then I look at the wiki and realize the prices aren't actually all that good. So I fuck off and head back to my house where I drop a ton of stuff into the shipping bin and check my mail. I haven't missed much. It's still pretty early in the day and I decide to tend to my animals and check on the greenhouse. Of course, I don't pay attention to the time and Willie's shop closes at 5, so I have no choice but to stay here on my farm tonight. I was really hoping to make it back in time to do more exploring tomorrow, but it will have to wait. I fished for monies to pass the time and I finally reached level 10 fishing. After a lot of back and forth, I choose the pirate profession, hoping to fish up even more missing artifacts for the museum collection. Day 97 is a mad dash to the Ginger Island volcano to gather up as many gold walnuts as I can. 17 can be found through various methods in the volcano and there are 2 in the forge room. I get to work fishing up the remaining 4 golden walnuts at the beach before heading to the volcano. I find 4 golden walnuts on the first floor. Everything on the second floor was trying to kill me, so I hastily dropped bombs and I found 1 golden walnut, 1 on the 3rd floor, and 1 on the 5th floor. I start to panic as it starts getting late, so I zoom even faster and find 2 more golden walnuts before making it to the forge room. I gathered the 2 at the entrance of the forge for a total of 16 golden walnuts. If I can solve the puzzle room tomorrow and manage to find just 1 more golden walnut, I can unlock the resort. I wake up on Ginger Island on day 98 and I run over to the puzzle room and complete the lion statue's memory puzzle after several attempts. After every failed attempt, the puzzle slows down ever so slightly, so basically my strategy here is to mess up several times to slow the game down as much as possible. As fate would have it, I have the memory of a goldfish, so I need all of the help I can get. I'm at 19 golden walnuts, and honestly, I forget that I haven't opened the first golden coconut I found, so I hop on Willie's boat, crack it open and cleanse, then rush back to Ginger Island to finish building the resort. I immediately started fishing for the stingray when I realized that I was fishing in the wrong spot. Lol. I do eventually wander into the pirate cove and catch the stingray, don't worry. Since the remaining fish in the collection are at the night market tomorrow, I have no choice but to mess around on the farm and call it a night. Day 99 would have been a great day to attempt reaching level 100 in the Skull Caverns, but I seem to have forgotten about that, so instead I organize all the stuff I've been hoarding, work on tidying up the farm, and make the greenhouse more of what it should be. I do need 1 more iridium sprinkler to maximize the greenhouse efficiency. I arrive at the night market just a little after 5 p.m. and I use the pumpkin soup for extra luck because why not? One after the other, I fish up the midnight squid, the spook fish, and the blobfish for the master angler achievement. In my excitement, I try to leave before going back up to the surface. While I'm at the night market, I buy a few decorations for the farm, a few parsnip seeds for Ginger Island, and I get the pearl from the mermaid show. I'd love to get a fish tank for the house eventually for the pearl and my legendary fish that I've been sitting in chests this entire playthrough, but some other time maybe. Day 100. I woke up to Willie's heirloom star drops sitting in the mail, ending our run with 6 star drops. Not bad, if I do say so myself. I take another crack at selling more stuff lying around for extra monies, even though I know we're nowhere close to 1 million gold in the first 100 days. I forage as many items as I can, hoping I can upgrade foraging to max level, and I was going to upgrade my pickaxe, but Clint was at the damn clinic! So instead, I visit the quarry and I ask Robin to start on the 3rd upgrade on the farmhouse. house. I still don't have a lot to do, so I clear everything at the secret woods and I pass out gifts to everyone before visiting the night market again. There are a few new items available today, so I spend monies on decorations and gifts before heading back home. Unfortunately, we did not gain any levels in our sleep. So, how did we do? Not bad overall, but let's take a look together and go goal by goal. We did complete the community center, even though it wasn't as quickly as I was hoping it would be. I think I did pretty well overall, considering the rabbit's foot and the Nautilus shell remix bundle that caused me some trouble there at the end. I blame myself for not being more organized and planning ahead, which was a common theme in this playthrough. I admit it's not one of my strong suits. I did not max every skill, but I got pretty darn close. I got every rare crow, including the deluxe rare crow. That's something I've never done before, and I'm glad I did it. One of the goals was to get every basic farm animal, and I think I accomplished that. The missing animals are the horse, which I completely blanked out on, and I didn't get the ostrich either, which is a special farm animal in my opinion. I would consider this a win, I think. I pushed against the odds and I received the Master Angler Steam achievement for catching every fish in the game. I did not reach 100 in the Skull Caverns. I completely forgot about it. There are a few 1.6 events that I missed out on, like the Summer Desert Festival and the raccoon stunt that I would love to see in the next 100 days. Overall, I'm really happy with these results. The hustle at the end was something else. I'm not a pro, we've been over this, but for someone first venturing into this challenge with a perfection goal in mind, I think I did a pretty damn good job. What do you all think? I'd love to know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it, and I really enjoyed binging Stardew Valley. If you'd like to see the next 200 days, let me know, and I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.